Welcome to the Wartime News Channel. The Philippines on Monday has identified the locations of 4 new U.S. military bases. The U.S. military will gain access to 4 bases, furthering cooperation with Philippines. As part of an expanded defense agreement analysts say is aimed at combating China. The 4 bases include 3 on the main island of Luzon, close to Taiwan, and 1 in Palawan province in the South China Sea. The U.S. has stepped up efforts to expand its Indo-Pacific security options in recent months. Amid mounting concerns over China's aggressive territorial posturing throughout the region, the new locations, opened up under the 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Arrangement, EDCA, which will allow the U.S. to rotate troops to a total of 9 bases throughout the Philippines, including on the strategically important Balabac Island close to Chinese installations in the South China Sea. These new locations will strengthen the interoperability of the United States and Philippine Armed Forces and allow us to respond more seamlessly together. We will be able to address a range of shared challenges in the Indo-Pacific region, including natural and humanitarian disasters, said Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh during a briefing Monday. The location announcement follows a spate of high-profile U.S. military agreements throughout the region, including plans to share defense technologies with India and deploy new U.S. Marine units to Japanese islands. Earlier this year, the U.S. Marine Corps also opened a new base on Guam, a strategically important U.S. island east of the Philippines. The location, known as Camp Bloch, is the first new Marine base in 70 years and could eventually host 5,000 Marines. Though news of the expanded access was announced in early February, the location of the bases remained unknown. The location of the bases were later revealed to the public after the agreement were finalized. On Monday, the Allies identified the 4 new sites as Balabac Island in Palawan, Naval Base Camilo Osias in Santa Ana, Cagayan Province, La Lo Airport in Cagayan, and Camp Melchor de la Cruz in Gamu, Isabela. In a press release, Philippine Defense Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. called the 4 bases very strategic, especially the naval base in Cagayan and the one on Balabac Island. Naval Base Camilo Osias in northern Luzon is located only 500 kilometers, or 310 miles from Kaohsiung, Taiwan's 3rd largest city with a population of 2.7 million. Galvez said Balabac sits on key sea lines of communication in the South China Sea where Manila and Beijing have competing territorial claims, including over islands where Beijing has built up military fortifications. Colin Koh, research fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies in Singapore, said the bases would play a role in any potential conflict in the region. The northern sites are not only aimed at a Taiwan contingency, they have utility in times of a South China Sea conflict, said Koh. It's difficult to imagine that a Taiwan Strait conflict will exclude a South China Sea dimension. Koh identified the Bashi Channel in the northern part of the Luzon Strait, closer to Taiwan, as a critical choke point, either for Chinese naval forces to break out of home waters and get into the open Pacific Ocean, to try and target U.S. military installation on Guam, or for U.S. warships to get into the South China Sea. He also emphasized how close the Balabac location is to disputed Mischief Reef, an atoll where China has built an artificial island with military facilities. The Balabac site allows for intelligence collection and staging of peacetime air, and naval activities in the area, which can put Mischief Reef under closer scrutiny, Ko said. China's Communist Party claims almost all of the South China Sea as its sovereign territory, as it does Taiwan, an island democracy of 23.5 million people that it has never controlled. Both U.S. and Philippine officials stressed the 4 new bases would not see a permanent U.S. military presence. Is not allowed under the EDCA, but would be available to U.S. forces in contingencies. This is really about regional readiness, Singh said during the press briefing Monday. You're going to see an increase of rotational forces in the region, she said, adding that the Department of Defense would work in lockstep with Philippine partners to rapidly modernize the bases. The announcement comes as U.S. and Philippine forces prepare to conduct their largest ever joint military drills later this month, when an estimated 17,600 troops from the 2 allies will combine to perform exercises for the Balikatan 23 exercises. Washington and Manila are bound by a mutual defense treaty signed in 1951 that remains in force, making it the oldest bilateral treaty alliance in the region for the United States. Like and subscribe to the Wartime News channel. Thank you for watching.